Jonas. Today's episode is a little special because we kind of have like some kind of concept today. And I'm gonna start with something that might turn into a long rant that doesn't make any sense. But I've been thinking a lot about like tape music, tape culture's relationship to like modern technology and social media and stuff like that. Because I've been very frustrated with technology the last few days. But I wanted to talk a little because I'm born in 2004, and I started caring about music when I was maybe like 7 or 8. And even though I'm really like a part of the internet generation, I were very offline when I was a kid. I guess my parents, they kind of wanted to shelter me from the internet and stuff. So I only got a smartphone when I was maybe like 10 or maybe even a little older. So when I was a small kid, I would go to the music library to get CDs. I would listen to audiobooks on cassette, and I would go to record stores a few times a week. And I'm very happy today that I got kind of like an offline introduction to music, because then when I got a little older, I got a smartphone. And that was in the beginning, it was very nice because I was able now to reach out to people who also cared about weird music. And there was a lot of things I could find music that I couldn't find in the local record stores and stuff. And at the same time, it also made me like, I remember very clearly that I was a lot more focused. I was better at concentrating before I got like my smartphone. And like, so it made me definitely like less lonely, but also maybe less focused, so to speak. And yeah, I kind of started using the internet a lot and discovering music, which was nice in a way, but also I got, like probably everyone else, kind of slightly addicted to like checking social media and stuff. And nowadays I study high school classes online, so I'm kind of forced to use modern technology a lot. And I've been thinking about that this week because right now I'm studying like mathematics, and I have had to learn this math software called GeoGebra, and it has been so frustrating and stressful, and I have a computer, I very rarely use it, I kind of hate it, and it's like a super old one with Windows 7, and it barely works anymore. And for some reason I really don't want to get a new one, because like I hate the idea of having a computer. Also, my phone is 10 years old, and it only charges if you put it in a very specific position, and it's like super difficult. But on the other hand, I really don't want to get a new one for some reason. And I went to the like IT like support on my school with my computer, and they had to install this software to me, and they were kind of laughing at me and be like, why do you have such an old computer and whatnot. But that made me also think about how social media and digital technology kind of have impacted tape music, because it's like, back in the days before social media, people would send letters with tapes and communicate through letters, and it was like very analog and very simple. And now I'm used to using Instagram and these kind of apps, and they make communication a lot easier, but in a way it feels like it also makes it too easy. And like of course, like now also with like AI, and people are using AI for album artwork, for release, for tapes, and that, like, I'm kind of rigid with such things, but it feels super wrong to me in a way. And I'm kind of, yeah, it feels like this, the kind of music I like, or the kind of music culture which is very analog in a way. It's like now it's maybe becoming some kind of like a gimmick, or like it, yeah, it's weird. And I've been thinking a lot about, because like people can make really amazing music with computer, and today I've tried to find like interesting computer music in my tape collection to play. But a thing that can kind of worry me sometimes is that there seems to be like some kind of standardification of music happening, where it's like, if you listen to home recorded music from the 80s or 90s recorded to tape, it's like it's really there's like a lot of weird floors and things sounds super weird and like unpredictable. But now I'm worried that it has like become too easy in a way to make things sound nice. So it's like kind of everyone can make something sound professional, but I also feel like in general music recorded to the computer oftentimes sound just more boring and more like just not too interesting to listen to. But anyways, I as I've been sitting trying to figure out this new software on my computer that I hate, I've been listening, trying to find music in my collection which is in some way related to technology or like kind of maybe saying no to technology. And the first thing I want to play today is a tape by a dear friend of mine, Jane P. And I played this tape before, and it's one of my favorite albums from recent years. And this track, which is called From 5:30 to 7:30, is interesting because it uses the sound of like these voicemail messages. And I've been communicating a lot with voice messages. So this track always reminds me of being like online and sending messages to friends like far away, maybe in the night, and both like the intimacy of that and also kind of the horror of I don't know, being online, being on Instagram, like, which is to me also like like even though I use it and feel like I have to use it, it's also like a scary place. But anyways, I'm gonna play from Jane P's tape called The Stains of Angels, a track titled From 5:30 to 7:30. And this album is truly amazing. It's it's a very special release, and it's very, very personal and doesn't sound like anything else. And it's really like my English skills are not good enough to explain maybe why I love it so much, but it is a very, very special album. Anyways, thanks for listening. I'll be playing tapes for the next hour or so.
Où est Jane? Jane est dans son lit. Jane est en train de dormir.
So
Voilà, je parle français.
I have no
Où est
voice.
Jane?
I
Jane est
was
dans son lit.
beginning my
Jane
message
est en train de
out
dormir.
loud with Hello Mommy,
Voilà, je parle français.
but it sounded
Où est Jane?
a
Jane
bit
est dans son lit.
sexual
Jane
maybe.
est en train de dormir. Voilà,
I
je
would
parle
like to
français.
have and sometimes I
17h30.
imagine myself and I'm dancing in a festival and I
Où
feel
est
free.
Jane? Jane est dans son lit.
Oh my god, it's
Jane
my
est en
voice
train de
when
dormir.
I wake up, so it's like if we were waking up
Où est
together.
Jane? Jane est
Oh my
dans son
god,
lit.
it's my voice
Jane
when
est en
I
train de
wake up,
dormir.
so it's like if we were waking up
Nature
together.
makes me smile.
Yeah,
See
I know,
my
but
sister, my dad.
maybe if we see each
Seeing
other
that
again,
I got
it
a
will
message
be
from
Met
you.
a photographer
maybe
There
and
are
he's
many
in
things
Paris, but he sent this to me and I love it
So
so
it
much,
would be
so I wanted to share it.
unfair to say nothing makes me like smile.
Sexual maybe.
Où est Jane? Jane est dans son lit. Jane est en train de dormir.
17h30.
Voilà, je parle français.
17h30. L'écriture
Où est
fine
Jane?
est une
Jane
parure.
est
17h30. Dont
Jane
chaque
est en
trait
train de
entrahit
dormir.
l'auteur et son attrait pour les jours de douleur. 17h30. L'écriture fine.
Then I took too much medication
Où est Jane?
and I thought that I wouldn't wake up, but this morning I woke up
And I hope
and I
that
cried
today
because the cat
is
was there.
tender to you
And
and
it's just the
that you
fact
feel
that she
a
was
little
there
bit better.
and
And I
she
think
stayed
about
with me
you
while
and
I
I
was
send you
crying
a
and
lot of
I'm
love.
in my bed.
And once
It
again
means a
tonight
lot.
I prayed for you and I hope you can receive my love. L'écriture fine est une parure mesquine dont chaque trait en trahit l'auteur et son attrait pour les jours de douleur. 17h30. But I met a photographer and he's in Paris. voice, so he sent it to me and I love it so much, so I wanted to share with you.
17h30. L'écriture fine. 17h30. Dont chacun trahit l'auteur et son attrait pour les jours de demain.
Hello mommy, hello mommy, hello mommy, hello mommy. But it sounded. But it sounded a bit sexual, maybe. Sexual, maybe. Hello, mommy. Hello, mommy.
Whenever I listen to this tape, I get this feeling that I'm in a way almost like listening to something I shouldn't be listening to, or it feels very, very. It feels very private. It feels like actual voice messages being used, and it has this very. There is some narrative, like you can hear. There's some person talking about taking too much medication, and it's just very, very. It's very bleak, but also kind of mysterious, or like the narrative is not easy to figure out, but it's obviously made with a lot of heart, or it's not for fun, so to speak. And I think this release is kind of like taking some of the like old ideals of tape music, like being the kind of the mystery and the like obscured narrative, and integrating those ideals into like modern like online culture in a way. Or it feels like the this music wouldn't exist without like the internet, or like it also makes me think of like YouTube blogs and stuff like that. And at the same time, I'm like careful when I speak about this recording, because it's like I don't want my like I think it's something like the whole album is something you would have to listen to yourself, because it's like my interpretation is not necessarily the best one. The next tape I'm gonna play is a tape I don't know anything about. It's titled Spy Recording Red Light District, and it is it seems like some kind of spy recording. And the reason I brought this tape with me today is that it reminds me a lot of like being on Instagram, listening to Instagram stories, because I'm blind, like when I listen to like if people upload some video from some event where they are or something, it doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense to me what is going on. So oftentimes I feel kind of like some weird spy listening to people's lives. But this is a very creepy tape, Um, I don't know anything about it. I asked someone who I thought was involved, but he didn't want it to say anything. It's titled, it's simply titled Spy Recording Red Light District. There's no artist info or anything, and I got it in a trade with some sketchy people. We're gonna listen to a few minutes of that.
Ja, maar wat bedoel je met deze? Ik was voor die. Ja, waar is dit hier? Neem je drink voor mij, is hier. Hoe geef je af? Ja, maar ik kan niet af. Ik kan niet. Wat weet je nog? Oh, ik schreef wat voor jou. Ik heb gemorgen. Kom maar, hoe gaat dat? Wat je mij bevallen? Nou, maar alsjeblieft. Gaat niet, vriend. Kom maar, alsjeblieft. Wat ik doe, even met je. Ik heb... Wacht even, sorry. Hoeveel is dit? Wat je weet, 20 man. Hoeveel nu? Dat is 3,50 €. Dan moet je nog 2,50. En 21, 23, 50. Daar is het goed, alsjeblieft. En hoe idee dat je dan nou in je hoofd krijgt?
She says it's just to us. Man carries off a dog.
This tape is very long and like nothing happens, but it's very special if you listen to it. If you listen to it, it's in its entirety. Oh, I'm so sorry, my English skills are not the best. Okay, next up is a tape I got on Monday, and I don't know what this tape is by Duncan Harrison and Barn Sauer, and it's titled Vegan Horse Meat. And I don't know what they were thinking this tape is about, but I've been listening to it all week while being angry with my computer, trying to get the earlier mentioned math software to work, and feeling like stupid and useless in society. And the tape here is a pretty decent soundtrack for that. And I love the title Vegan Horse Meat, and it pairs with the sound in a very in a strange way. Let's listen to the first few minutes of that one. I really like this one, vegan horse meat. It's a great. It's very. I think the tape is like a half hour long, and it's very in a way very absurd, and it's hard to figure out what's going on. And like my interpretation of this would also be that it's like kind of reflecting like modern worlds, like dystopia maybe in some way, but I don't know what the artist's for it is. But now I kind of want to shift the focus of this radio show a little bit, because I feel like the last few tapes I've been playing has been this kind of what I would describe as like bleak modern music, and now I want to like play some music which I consider a little more like idealistic in a way, because one thing I think is very beautiful about like modern day tape music and tape culture is that there's this kind of, sometimes it can represent maybe in a way like a dream of like a lost world, or like a dream of a like maybe also like a kind of idealized version of the past, but like it can there can be this beautiful maybe nostalgia, and I think it's more than just nostalgia. I think it's like trying to reimagine the reimagine the past in a way with using old broken technology and stuff. And some of the most like idealistic music I can imagine is this Finnish noise project called Hö, which is like, I would describe it as being like the ultimate worship of broken tape machines. It's like a guy from somewhere in Finland doing this like no-fi. It's the like in technical terms you could describe it as the worst sounding like this is in a way it's like only the sound of malfunctioning equipment you can hear, but I find it very beautiful, and it's very much a world of its own. And it's like I feel like this music is kind of like not even acknowledging AI or any other modern like phenomena in a way, and I find that very like beautiful in a special way. So let's listen to a few minutes of one of the many untitled Hö tapes I have, where I don't even know if it's like a proper release or just some tape in one copy the artist gave me. It's hard to know, but it's very beautiful sound. We're gonna play a few minutes of that, and I don't know if you feel like the same, but I would imagine this is kind of bringing the mood a little up from the things we've been listening to until now. like this tape a lot. It feels it's very warm and like comforting in a way, I would say. I've been thinking about like, because this release is not like, I'm not even sure if it has a title. It's not available online. Sometimes I'm kind of afraid if I'm doing like a disservice to this kind of music by playing it on like an online radio, because maybe this music is not even meant to, maybe this music is even like it's meant to only exist on the tape. And it's like, I like this music a lot and I want to tell people about it, but sometimes I'm can be afraid if I'm almost like ruining the mystery, because like this kind of music also thrives a lot from mystery, and maybe it can even make it a little less fun. We're having it played on the radio with my shitty interpretations. And I've been thinking about that. I also want to do more just like mixtapes on cassette, because this is like it's really nice to have this online and people can find it, but in a sense it's like, I feel like a lot of this music is also kind of, maybe you should even just have it staying on cassette. So I've been thinking about if anyone like is listening to this program and likes it, and I would really if you want like if you want if you have a tape player and if you want like a personal mixtape, I would encourage you to send me an email and let me know which kind of music you like, and let me know your address, and then I'll make you a mixtape and send you a cassette free of charge. My email I'm not gonna spell it out here, but it can be found on my label Afvikling Kassetters Bandcamp site, and it's pretty easy to find there. And if someone listens to the program and likes it, please reach out. I'm not gonna send mixtapes like out of Denmark, because that's gonna ruin me financially. But if you're living in Denmark and want a mixtape, then reach out to me. Tell me which kind of music or like which mood in music you like, because I don't want to waste your time. And then I'm gonna do you a mixtape and send it to you free of charge. And my email can be found by going to the Bandcamp site of my label Afvikling, or my Instagram has a link to the Bandcamp, and then you can find my email. And I would appreciate making some cassette mixtapes to people, because that's like the idealistic way to do this. Okay, now we're continuing with the next tape. It is a bootleg of a Swedish TV program from the 90s, I think. I think it's like a Swedish TV program for kids or maybe it's not Swedish, but just with an English program with Swedish like voice laid on top. But the tape is made by an anonymous person in Sweden, and the cover is just like a scan of the old VHS, and the tape is titled Lady Lovely Locks, and it is basically just an audio recording of this old Swedish TV show. And I've been thinking about this like music which is kind of like reimagining the past, or bringing some artifact from the past into a new context, like the Her tape we listened to before. And I find that to be a very beautiful thing to do. So let's listen to some Swedish children's TV from the 90s.
Bra gjort, Gnisse Pixie. Håll ett öga på en åt mig.
För sent! För sent!
Det var så.
För sent! För sent!
jag fick vara vid din sida, Lady Lovelocks. Ge mig styrka att befria Shining Glory.
Den har varit till nog besvär nu.
Men så ovanligt, Shining Glory, att göra ett önskeben åt prins.
Men vilken tur det var.
Du önskade dig precis vad vi behövde.
Kärlekens makt är den starkaste som finns. Så här gick det till när Lady Lovelocks använde sig av den för att rädda sig undan en stor fara.
Du kan inte ta mig. Inte mig heller. Jag har dig. Och dig. Jag har dig. Och dig. Du kan inte ta mig. Inte mig heller. Jag har dig. Och dig.
Men titta på mitt hår. Vilket rufs.
Vilken vacker flicka och vilken vacker spegelbild hon har.
Åh nej! Allting är fruset. Min spegelbild är
I'm
form.
not sure if I'm able to describe why, but I find this tape very, very pleasant to listen to. It's like, even though it was not intended to be like weird, just the audio, but it seems to me like the perfect audio collage of weird sounds and voices, and it has like a very comforting quality to my ears at least, and it feels very much from like something from the past, which is in a way so strange that you could almost imagine it being from the future in a way. I feel like we're just like in this show, we're going more and more back in time. The next tape I want to play is fairly new, but to me at least it sounds very, very old. It's made by Sean McCann. It's called Mammoth Mountain, and it's like it's string music. And even though it's maybe recorded in 2010 or something to a 4-track tape machine, but it sounds like it's to me this recording sounds like almost like it's existing outside of time, or I imagine this music could have been played 100 years ago maybe. Yeah, it's very beautiful. We're just going to listen to the first track from the tape, Mammoth Mountain by Sean McCann. I feel like we've been playing a lot of nice, pleasant music, and maybe even a little bit too much. So next up is we're staying in like acoustic music for a moment, but this tape is very different from at least all other acoustic music I've heard. It's released on the label Early Music, and that was I felt like talking about music and time and like what contemporary music even means. I had to bring something from Early Music. This is a recording made on a very, very out of tune piano, and to me it's even though it's like piano, which is maybe the most easily recognizable instrument, it sounds almost alien. The tape is called I Must Have Fallen Asleep, and it is released through the Early Music label. I can't remember the artist name at the moment, but I'm not sure if it's just an alias for label owner John Cullen or maybe someone else. It's very special. I remember I ordered it many years ago, and I was kind of expecting some maybe kind of pleasant piano music, and it is piano music, but I'm glad I got something else than I had expected. We're listening to a few minutes of the B-side. So now it seems like things are falling down in the studio. I have 2 last tapes planned for today. Now we're going back to maybe to like some kind of digital sound. The first tape I'm gonna play is by a friend of mine, Chris Shields, who has the project Row, and this is a tape released on No Rent Records a few years back. And I know Chris is he doesn't necessarily want to talk about how he makes his sounds, but I would imagine this one is made at least with some kind of digital processing. But what is interesting about that is that it doesn't sound to me like cold, and it's a good example that like not all good music is made with like old analog gear. Like you can make amazing music with digital sources, but I think in a way it can be harder because old technology has a lot of flaws, and that's like kind of a gift. And if you're working in the computer, you have to maybe find the flaws yourself a little more. I was also thinking about the Danish like hyperpop project called Part-Time Boy, which is also like very digital music, but with a very like personal sound. And I wanted to play that, but since it's not released on tape, so we are not able to do that. But let's play a few minutes of Row, and then I'm gonna say farewell and play one last tape afterwards. I like this tape a lot. I think it's very evident that Chris has very, very good ears and very, very specific, like personal way of listening and making sounds. And yeah, it's very, it's like strange and alien, but also pleasant. So for the last tape for this very loose theme about like new and old and maybe future technology and the more like the idealistic or dystopic visions that can emerge when thinking about such things, the last tape for today is a tape by Canadian noise project called Dead Glaze. And to me, this tape, in a way, it sounds like the sound of just pure electricity. Yeah, I don't know if I can find a better way to describe it. It's a rehearsal tape. It has no title. Yeah. As I mentioned earlier, please reach out. I want to make mixtapes to people on tape. So reach out if you want one. They will be sent to you free of charge, or I can deliver it if you're in Copenhagen. I can't send mixtapes to outside of Denmark at the moment. This episode was not as successful as I planned it to be, mostly because of my own not impressive English skills. But I hope you enjoyed listening nonetheless. Last track is from the Deaf Glaze untitled rehearsal tape. It's released in this like small generic paper envelope I believe it's from 2023. Thanks for listening.